Ever seen a small argument just explode? Today we're diving into a story just like that. It all starts with a simple parking spot but ends up as a viral nightmare. This is a crazy tale about anger, entitlement, and what happens when one tiny mistake gets caught on camera. So, how does a fight over a parking spot become a massive public takedown? I mean, really think about it. We're going to break down exactly how this simple disagreement over a piece of pavement turned into, well, a perfect lesson in what you should never do when you're mad and there's a camera rolling. All right, so let's set the scene. We're in Fresno, California. Our main characters, first, a mobile car detailer, just out there trying to make a living, and second, a doctor, a guy named Jaypal Sidhu, who runs a clinic nearby. These two are about to cross paths in a way that's, let's just say, very public and very destructive.
Okay, so let's start with the incident itself. It begins as this totally normal, everyday annoyance, but you have to watch how fast this thing just spirals completely out of control. So the setup is super simple. This car detailer gets a call to go clean a Tesla. He shows up, pulls into an unmarked spot in a public lot, right near his client's car so he can get to work. Nothing weird about that at all. Seems totally normal, right? But then, Dr. Sidhu shows up for his day at the clinic. He sees the detailer's car in the spot where he always parks, and he is not happy. He goes right up to the detailer and starts arguing that since he parks there every single day, it's basically his spot. And boom, that's the heart of the problem right there. This feeling of owning a public space. Now, the car detailer, he's staying pretty calm through all this. He just lays out the simple fact of the matter. He's allowed to park there. It's a public area. Unless it's got a reserved sign, it's fair game. He's not breaking any rules. Okay, and this is where the whole thing just goes off the rails. A heated argument, that's one thing. But what this doctor does next, it crosses a serious line, turning a petty fight into an actual crime. The argument gets more and more intense, and believe it or not, Dr. Sidhu actually starts taunting the detailer. He's basically daring him to get physical. At this point, you can tell, this has nothing to do with parking anymore, this is just raw aggression. And the camera is still rolling the whole time. The doctor walks off for a second, but then he comes back, and he's holding something. He starts walking toward the detailer's car. And man, you can just feel the tension skyrocket. The detailer has no clue what's about to go down. And then it happens. You hear this hissing sound, and the detailer's reaction is just pure shock. The doctor literally just slashed his tire. A silly fight over parking just turned into destruction of property. Unbelievable. So you gotta ask, what is going on here? I mean, why would a doctor, a professional, risk his entire reputation over a parking spot? Well, it really all comes down to a really dangerous sense of entitlement and a major confusion about public versus private space. Look, the rule for public parking is about as simple as it gets. If there's no sign that says reserved, then it's first come, first served. It's for everybody, which means it doesn't belong to any one person. And that's the real issue, right? This clash. Hey, I do this every day, so I have a right to it. That whole mindset is in a head-on collision with how we all agree public spaces are supposed to work. So just look at this contrast. It's like these two guys were living in completely different realities. On one hand, you have the doctor's assumption, I park here every day, so it's mine. On the other, you have the legal reality. If it's not marked reserved, it's for anyone. And when those two worlds collided, well, you get a slashed tire. And get this, it gets even clearer. A security guard from the complex actually shows up, and even he tells the doctor, sorry, my hands are tied. He couldn't make the detailer move his car because, yep, it was a public spot. The law just wasn't on the doctor's side here, period. So, of course, the whole thing was caught on camera. And what happens when things get caught on camera? They end up online. The second that video was posted, this stopped being a story about two guys in a parking lot. It became everyone's business, and the internet basically became the judge and jury. And oh man, the internet's verdict came in fast, and it was brutal. People just roasted the doctor. You had comments like, I'll park there just for fun, or my favorite, I need new tires, so I'll park there. But a lot of people also pointed out how completely illogical it was. Like, the doctor wants him to move, so he slashes his tires so that it takes longer to move. I mean, it makes no sense. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Let's be real. This was never just about a tire. The true cost of that moment of anger for the doctor was so much bigger. I mean, look at this chain of events. It's like a domino effect. Step 1, a small annoyance. Someone's in your spot. Step 2, an angry reaction, a verbal fight. Step 3, a destructive act, slashing a tire. Step 4, the public fallout, a viral video. And the final step, a potential legal and professional catastrophe. Each step just dug the hole deeper.
When you add it all up, the final cost is just brutal. We're talking terrible publicity for his clinic, the financial hit from a possible lawsuit, and maybe the worst part, a permanent digital footprint that will follow him forever. This one incident is now part of his permanent record online for anyone to see. And all of this leaves us with one last big question to think about. In a world where every single one of us has a high-def camera in our pocket, is any argument ever really private? I mean, this story really makes you wonder, right? Any public flare-up could be just one click away from becoming the whole world's business. Definitely something to chew on.